He gave his seat to a stranger and got a letter that changed his life-broken heart. Arman was a young boy from a poor family who lived in a small city. Life was never easy for him. His father worked in a small factory, and his mother stayed at home, trying to manage the house with very little money. Arman had dreams like every other boy, but his reality was different. He wanted to get a good job one day so that he could take his family out of poverty. Every morning, Arman would wake up early, get ready, and travel by bus to attend his job training center. The bus was always crowded, noisy, and uncomfortable. People were tired, stressed, and rarely spoke to each other. But Arman had accepted this routine as part of his life. He believed that one day, all of this struggle would be worth it. One evening, after a long and tiring day, Arman boarded the bus as usual. The bus was more crowded than normal. There were barely any empty seats. People were standing tightly packed, holding onto the rails for support. Arman managed to find a small standing space near the middle of the bus. After a few stops, an old man slowly entered the bus. He looked weak, tired, and could barely stand properly. His hands were shaking slightly as he held onto the support bar. He looked around, hoping someone might offer him a seat, but everyone avoided eye contact. Some people even looked away, pretending not to notice him. Arman saw the old man struggling. He looked at his tired face and felt something inside him. Without thinking too much, Arman stood up from his place and gently said, "Sir, you can sit here." The old man looked at him in surprise. For a moment, he didn't say anything. Then slowly, he smiled and sat down in Arman's seat. He looked relieved, as if he had been struggling for a long time. Arman stood beside him, holding the bar of the bus. The old man kept looking at Arman with quiet eyes, as if he was observing him carefully. The journey continued in silence. After some time, the bus reached the old man's stop. He slowly stood up, adjusting his clothes, and before getting off, he looked at Arman and said, "You are a good boy, the world will remember people like you." Arman smiled politely and nodded. The old man then stepped off the bus and disappeared into the crowd outside. Arman thought nothing special about it. For him, it was just a small act of kindness, something anyone should do. The next morning, Arman woke up like usual. He got ready and was preparing to leave for his training center when someone knocked at the door. It was a courier delivery boy. He handed Arman an envelope and left immediately without saying much. Arman looked at the envelope. There was no sender name written on it. Only his name was carefully written on the front. He felt curious. He opened the envelope slowly and pulled out a folded letter from inside. As he began reading the letter, his expression slowly changed. The first line said, "If you are reading this, it means you met me yesterday on the bus." Arman froze for a moment. He continued reading. The letter said, "I was not just an ordinary old man. I was someone who has spent years observing people and their behavior." Arman sat down, focused on the letter. It continued, "I am a retired businessman. I have lived a successful life, but over time I lost trust in people. I wanted to see who still has kindness in their heart." Arman's heart started beating a little faster as he read further. The letter continued, "I traveled in buses like a normal passenger, watching how people behave when no one is watching them. Most people ignored me. Some avoided me. But you stood up without hesitation." Arman looked down at the letter, surprised and confused. He kept reading, "You gave your seat without thinking about anything in return. That is rare in today's world." Then the letter continued, "Because of your kindness, I want to offer you a job in my company. Not just a job, but a future." Arman's eyes widened. He couldn't believe what he was reading. A job offer? From a stranger he met on the bus? But the letter was not finished yet. The final part said, "I lost my son years ago in an accident. And when I saw you yesterday, for a moment, I felt like I was seeing him again." Arman went completely silent. He held the letter tightly in his hands. His eyes slowly filled with tears. He couldn't understand what to feel. Happiness, shock, sadness, all mixed together in his heart. After sitting in silence for a long time, Arman finally stood up. He looked at the letter again and realized something important. One small act of kindness had completely changed someone's life and his own future. From that day onwards, Arman never forgot that moment. He always believed that kindness, no matter how small, can change destinies in ways people can never imagine. And that is how one simple seat on a bus changed his entire life.
Your support gives us strength to create more stories. Please like and subscribe.